Picture this. It's 2003 and you're a little late to the PlayStation 2 party. But you're finally here, so what awesome games are you going to get first? Maybe an action-adventure classic such as Ratchet & Clank, or a timeless extreme sports title like Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3. Or maybe the most underrated fighting game of all time, Tekken 4. Well, no. It's a dog that can see smells and you can make him poo. However, this smell-seeing, poo-doing, go-getting dog is the main protagonist of what I think is a cozy game masterpiece and a truly underappreciated gem of its time. Developed by Frontier Developments, Dog's Life was released in 2003 for the European region and a year later in the North American region. The game is listed in most places as an action-adventure game, but I wouldn't necessarily say there is much action. It is, however, an epic adventure. Hey, I'm Satin Black, and today we're going to dive into the PS2 exclusive Dog's Life and see what makes it such a charming game. Dog's Life gameplay mechanics allow you to do all the things any dog can. Jump, bark, and taking a dump are all at your disposal and all useful to you and your adventure. Except for the taking a dump thing, that's entirely recreational here. Outside of jumping for platform purposes and barking to scare or wake up NPCs, the circle button serves as the action button, allowing Jake to talk to quest givers, pick up and throw items, and drag objects in order to aid traversal. The platforming isn't perfect by any means, and Jake will most definitely have moments where he kinda does what he wants regardless of what input you've done, but overall, it is a fun, responsive movement system. The triangle button activates the most important part of the game in smell-o-vision. Here you enter a first-person mode, but can see all the various scents in the world which are integral to completing the game. These scents are the main collectible and come in all different colours, with each one meaning something different. Purple. Every area has 50 of these. Collect them all and you'll get a bone. Red. Only appearing in some levels, and you will only need 4 of them to open up a game of doggy see doggy do, where if you do all the tricks shown by the other dog, you'll unlock a new move. Indigo and Violet. Both time trial based, where Indigo spawns scents one at a time and Violet spawns all 12 at once. Both work the same though. Collect all 12 before time runs out, and with every scent collected, your timer increases a little bit. Do this, and another bone is yours. Green. Collecting 8 of these starts the racing game. Beat the local dog in a race around the map, finishing first with more dog treats, and you will win. Yellow. Rather fitting that the yellow scent is for the Mark Your Territory minigame, where you will have to out-pee the local dog and gain more area than them. Orange. The simplest and easiest of the minigames is Orange's Tug of War. Just spam circle and make sure you have more bones than the other dog, and you'll win it in about 5 seconds every time. Pink. A pursuit challenge will see you chase down the local dog, catch them, and you'll win. Each area offers 2 minigames. The first one you beat will let you control the local dog in order to complete a mission that Jake doesn't have the ability to. The second minigame, being one, will spawn a bone at the save spot in that area. And don't forget, you can poo in this game. You are introduced to the cheeky, fart-fueled protagonist of our story, Jake the dog. And in this opening cutscene, we are also introduced to his love interest Daisy, who, by the looks of things, would not be fazed if Jake died. Our story takes a dark turn quickly though, as Daisy is nabbed by Dwayne and Wayne, the dog catchers, right in front of Jake, who tries to make the save, but he is also captured. However, before the dog catcher's truck can leave the farmhouse, Jake flies out of the truck and Jake is freed. These guys are going to be recurring characters throughout the game, by the way. Wayne is the short one, who is always sneezing due to his allergies, and Dwayne is the, I'll say, less intelligent of the two. He's basically what I call the buffhead, and they've given him the classic trope of big, gentle softy. This gives us our plot right off the bat. Rescue Daisy. The only clue we have so far is the dog nappers saying Lake Minnewawa, but before we can do anything, our owner walks over to us, and we start the tutorial. We start at the farmhouse in Clarksville, which is Jake and Daisy's home. Clarksville is the first of 3 areas this game has to offer, filled with rural themed levels like farms, small village, and a town centre smaller than the local footy field. Through various missions, Jake learns the whereabouts of Lake Minnewawa and sets off to the town centre, where the train station is. We'll get another cutscene featuring Dwayne and Wayne, where they receive a call from Miss Peaches asking if they've gotten Clarksville dogs and Lake Minnewawa dogs. Dwayne tells her that they have the Clarksville dogs, but they have yet to go to Lake Minnewawa. Miss Peaches tells them off, and the boys make their way to the next town. Now on to Lake Minnewawa, a snow-filled city where you will explore ski slopes, mountaintops, and snow-filled streets. Depending on how many bones you got in Clarksville, you won't have to stay here long, as the train to the game's third area, Boom City, becomes available after completing a task for a little girl in the first area of Lake Minnewawa. I, however, stuck around and saw what else the cold streets of Minnewawa had to offer, and it had some of the prettiest level design in the game, and this is coming from someone who hates snow levels. It is also home to some of the more memorable tasks and NPCs for me. We jump onto the train to Boom City and are greeted with another Dwayne and Wayne cutscene. In this one, we see signs of Dwayne beginning to be suspicious of Miss Peach's motives with the dogs, and that's really the only thing worth noting here. Moving on to the game's third and final area, we arrive at Boom City. A beautiful city bursting with charm and character, and a great representation of just how far our adventure has taken Jake from the rural streets of Clarksville. So what does Boom City offer? First off, I love the rainy vibe of this area. It looks reminiscent of cities in early 2000s Saturday morning cartoons. Boom City has such tasks as getting a man his money back after exposing a cheating cards player, helping an old lady return her cats to her apartment with the help of the local dog, and catching the sleeping bandit, who, if is woken up, will shoot Jake directly in the head. After 91 bones worth of collecting cents and completing missions, we are on to the first part of this game's finale. The Dog Pound is one of the scariest video game locations ever. You can take your Resident Evils and your Silent Hills and you can shove them. We have to collect keys laying around here to let 3 dogs out that we have passed on our journey. After this, the dog catcher that has pursued us since Clarksville quits and says he's going to chase his dream of becoming a video game developer. Now that he's gone, you just have to deal with his dog killer one last time. 91 bones is the pass mark here, and now we can enter the cat food factory. If it wasn't obvious already, Miss Peaches plans on making her cat food with the dogs. Specifically, the nice clean dog from Clarksville, that being Daisy. She reveals that Daisy will be the first dog to go through the Big Machine, a device for slicing, dicing, and mashing. It is now up to Jake to try and shut down the machine before Daisy is turned into a canned meal. You go to each part of the machine and either pull a lever or press a button, and then at the very end of the segment, you will throw what I think were spanners into the machine, causing it to stop and allowing Daisy to escape. She approaches Jake and love hearts show above both their heads, until Miss Peaches arrives with her shotgun. But of course, this whole game has been centered around toilet humor, so why wouldn't the end be Jake letting out a gargantuan flatulence and knocking Miss Peaches into her own machine? The machine turns on and she gets diced, sliced, and mashed into cat food. What a great ending for our Peggy 3 video game. The last cutscene is one of those classic what are they doing now ones, where Jake tells us what Gramps, the guitar dude, and Wayne and Dwayne are up to. It's nothing spectacular, but it's still good to know that everyone ends up happy. The credits roll and we're booted back to the main menu. It's worth noting that I hadn't saved for a while before the finale, and the game doesn't autosave before or after, so make sure you save just before the finale or else you're going to lose a fair bit of progress, as there's no premium adventure mode for you to play after the main story finishes. The map of Dog's Life is split into 4 areas: Clarksville, Lake Minnewawa, Boom City, and the Pound. Clarksville is the welcoming, calming introduction to the game, full of beautiful farmlands and small town vibes that are somehow nostalgic. It's so easy to get lost in the high up areas here, and the lighting of the game provides this ethereal vibe. My favourite part of Clarksville is easily the top of the cliff at the farmhouse, where you can look over the waterfall, the lake, and the gorgeous skybox. Lake Minnewawa is a snowy mountain-filled town, and in most cases, I don't like snowy levels, but Dog's Life pulls it off so well. Lake Minnewawa gives off the tourist destination vibe, as there isn't a lot of housing and more shops, ski slopes, and hotels. The mountain area is gorgeous as well, and it really makes you slowly go through it so you can appreciate just how pretty it is. Easily my favourite part of Lake Minnewawa. I touched on Boom City before and its big city rainy aesthetic, which is a personal favourite of mine. The only distinct feature of the city is the park in the middle, as everything else looks pretty samey, but I don't mind as it's completely different to Clarksville and Lake Minnewawa. My favourite Boom City location is the first area, Station, because of that 2000s cartoon feeling that I mentioned before. The Pound is a hellscape, and I don't really need to say anything else about that. This soundtrack is up there with my favourite video game soundtracks ever, and there is one song in particular that could easily crack my top 10 pieces of music of all time. It's composed by Alistair Lindsay, and these songs heavily feature beautifully bright acoustic guitar parts being accompanied by ethereal choir-like synths and warm-sounding bells. These accompany the scenery to the game perfectly and aid in making you just stop and really take in the audio and visual bliss. This soundtrack is perfect in my opinion, except for the Pound theme song, that can go away. Here is a snippet from my favourite track called Big Field, which plays in the level, Big Field. It is worth noting that Boom City takes a different approach to its tracks, almost telling you the opposite of everything that's come before it. The music is full of energy and groove, and it is reminding you that there is no time to stop in the big city. The funky bass lines and drums lead the charge with inklings of that angelic synth throughout, providing a pleasant listening experience as we approach the end of our journey. An underrated gem that is incredibly appreciated by everyone I've spoken to about it. Even people I've shown the game who have never seen it before end up falling in love with it, even without all the nostalgia tied to it. So I can confidently say that Dog's Life is a must-play. Sure, it lacks in the story department, but with its fun gameplay, beautiful visuals, and a feel-good soundtrack, this is going to be worth your time. With that being said, Dog's Life is going to get the Satin Black gaming ranking of S tier. So there it is, my first review done and dusted, and I could not have picked a better game to start. I have so many great memories with this one from both adulthood and childhood, and just revisiting it for this review cemented how much I love it. Thank you so much for your time today, and if you enjoyed this review, consider dropping a like on the video and subscribing to the channel. Linked in the description below is my socials and my Twitch, and your support on any platform would mean the absolute world to me. Now with that being said, I've been Satin Black, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.